Hi, I'm Bridget Whitey-Brooks, this year's Omaha Press Club Foundation president. I'd like to congratulate the 2020 scholarship winners. 30 years ago, I was one of you, the recipient of the Paul N. Williams Scholarship for the University of Nebraska at Omaha. So I want to welcome you into this special community of journalists and PR professionals, which includes many of my fellow OPC Foundation board members. Which reminds me, this is an awesome honor, but it's also a great responsibility. You are a leader and an inspiration. So look for opportunities to give back, both now and in the future. Pay this honor forward. 2020 is a weird year. It's one that you're going to remember, not only because of the pandemic, but because it was the year you became an OPC scholarship recipient. I want to congratulate you on this honor, and I can't wait to see what you have in store in your future.
Hello, and welcome to a most unusual scholarship recognition celebration. For the 64 years the Omaha Press Club has honored the state's top collegiate journalists. My name is Chris Allen. I'm a professor in the UNO School of Communication. I am general manager of UNO Television, which is doing this taping, and of KVNO Classical 90.7. I am a past president of the Omaha Press Club. I am a current board member of the Omaha Press Club, and I am married to Elaine Allen, who is a board member of the Press Club Foundation. Thus, I am serving as a host of this video celebration. We know these difficult and historic times call for all of us to do our part to limit the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. But we at the Press Club also feel it's important that our 2020 scholarship winners publicly receive the recognition they have earned. Of course, normally we would be gathered in the beautiful Omaha Press Club on the 22nd floor of the First National Bank building adjoining the DoubleTree Hotel. Normally, you would be admiring a spectacular view over downtown Omaha, the Missouri River, and the lights of Council Bluffs. Normally, you would be finishing up an outstanding dinner prepared by our executive director, Steve Villamonte, and his excellent chefs. Normally, you would be sitting at a table with friends and our award recipients, enjoying some great conversation. Instead, you're watching me on a screen. I hope you're at least munching some popcorn. In any case, we're pleased you could join us online to help us honor 17 outstanding students and young professionals with Omaha Press Club scholarships. In addition to recognizing these deserving students who have received a total of $51,500 in scholarships this year, we will get to hear from three of them, one from each of the three campuses our program supports: Creighton University, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Later, we'll also hear from a distinguished professional, Steve Jordan, who has been honored for a long career with the Omaha World-Herald. As we get started with our program, I thought I would first tell you a little bit about the OPC Foundation and the efforts that made this program possible. The Foundation is a charitable arm of the Omaha Press Club, formed to allow us to accept tax-deductible donations for scholarships. Let me go over that again. Tax-deductible donations for scholarships. Hint, hint. The scholarships are funded both by endowed funds the Foundation maintains and through its annual fundraising. You may be hearing from us. We also want to recognize two families that annually write a check to the Foundation to directly fund scholarships awarded in the names of their loved ones. We give special thanks to Sissy Silber, the wife of late World-Herald reporter Howard Silber, and I miss seeing her at the banquet, and to the family of World-Herald feature writer Jim Denny. We're also proud to award the first Susan Eustace Scholarship, awarded in the name of a long-time Omaha public relations professional and a mainstay of the Omaha Press Club Board of Directors. And we're bringing back a scholarship that has not been awarded for more than a decade, the Ed Zarinsky Scholarship, recognizing a deserving graduate student. The young communicators being honored here represent the most gifted at their schools, and they joined the impressive list of 400 recipients of Press Club scholarships over nearly 6 decades. And while the money awarded here is nice, Many of those past honorees would tell you what's even more important is the validation that comes with the award, the recognition that they have the skills to succeed in their chosen profession. Such encouragement is the more critical during these times when the media business is rapidly evolving during the digital age. It's important that we all show that good journalism and the impact it has in our community is something we value and want to see continue into the future. These young people we're honoring represent that future. So let's begin. I'll read off the roll of scholarship winners and tell you a little bit about each one and about the scholarship. And at a normal scholarship dinner, this is the part where we would actually practice our applause sequence, how and when to clap for each recipient as he or she comes forward. It can be awkward. But since this is virtual, you can celebrate any way you want, including air horns, which are strictly banned at the banquet. The award selections for scholarships that are specifically designated to campuses and the nominees for competitive scholarships are made by the faculties and administrators at each school. So let me start giving away some money. First, the 2020 Panko Roberts President's Memorial Scholarship. This is the oldest Omaha Press Club scholarship. It was first presented in 1957 in memory of Omaha World Herald reporter Walter Panko. More than a decade later, the name of KMTV News Director Jim Roberts was added, and the award now honors all past presidents of the Omaha Press Club and Omaha Press Club Foundation. The Panko Roberts President's Memorial Scholarship is presented to one deserving student from each of the three universities, UNO, UNL, and Creighton. These scholarships are $2,500 each. From Creighton University, Amanda Minckler. Amanda is a dual major in journalism, news graphic design at Creighton University with a minor in women's and gender studies. Minckler is a business intern in the communications department at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska and also is the photo editor for the Creightonian, Creighton's student publication. She previously worked as a marketing intern at Berry Law Firm. Minckler is an earlier winner of the OPC Foundation's Panko Roberts Scholarship and has been on the dean's list every semester at Creighton. She's the daughter of Karen Gray of Omaha. From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, William Bauer, a triple major, broadcast journalism, sports media, and communication in the College of Journalism and Mass Communications. Bauer has worked as a reporter for NET Radio News and the Omaha World Herald. He's been a producer and on-air personality for KRNU and for Alpha Media, where he produced and contributed to Hail Varsity Radio, a statewide syndicated sports talk radio program. Bauer also covered sports and news for the Daily Nebraskan. He has made the dean's list numerous times, maintaining a 3.97 grade point average. I'm not sure we can actually say that, but there it is. He is a recipient of the McCaffrey Emerging Media Scholarship, the Nebraska Broadcasters Association Scholarship, and the OPC Foundation's Paul N. Williams Scholarship. Bauer also serves as the new member educator for his fraternity and is the vice president of the College of Journalism and Mass Communications Student Advisory Board. His parents are Lisa Kassenbauer and Mark Bauer of Hawley, Minnesota. And from the University of Nebraska at Omaha, Sarah Fixmer. Sarah is from Atlantic, Iowa. She is a journalism and media communications major with a minor in marketing. She is a communications and outreach intern for the Omaha Council Bluffs Metropolitan Area Planning Agency, serves as director for Maverick PR, UNO's student-run public relations firm, and vice president of events for the UNO Public Relations Student Society of America chapter. In addition, Fixmer is the advertising manager for the UNO Gateway, UNO's student publication. She previously was a communications intern for the Atlantic Area Chamber of Commerce. Her parents are Jeff and Heather Lundquist. Our next scholarships are the John Davis Scholarships. In 1974, the Davis Scholarships were established in honor of First National Bank executive John F. Davis, who helped establish the Omaha Press Club atop the bank building at 16th and Dodge Streets. The annual scholarships allowed the club to significantly expand its efforts to help students studying journalism, public relations, or advertising. The scholarships are presented to deserving students as selected by the faculties at each school. The scholarships are worth $2,500 each. And from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Elizabeth Libby Seline. Libby is majoring in journalism with a minor in business. She spent 2 years as a news reporter for the Daily Nebraskan before being promoted to senior news editor. She's been honored by the newspaper with a Greatest Contribution recognition and earned various other awards from the publication's board, including first place for news general assignment reporting. Seline is currently a stringer at the New York Times and works with a team to track coronavirus cases in the nation's jails and prisons. Prior to that, she interned at the Salt Lake Tribune via the Dow Jones News Fund. Check out Ireland Magazine in Dublin, Ireland, not Ohio, and at Transport Topics, a weekly publication covering the trucking industry. In addition, she's a volunteer for Launch Leadership, a Lincoln-based nonprofit, and will graduate with honors from UNL in May. Her parents are Sue and Steve Seline of Omaha. From the University of Nebraska at Omaha, Anna Bellinghausen. Anna is a journalism and media communication major with a minor in communication studies. Bellinghausen is a sports reporter, color commentator, and music coordinator for mavradio.fm. She serves as vice president of monthly programming for the UNO Ad Club and is a monthly contributor to the Gateway. Bellinghausen was credentialed media for an NBA matchup between the Denver Nuggets and the Cleveland Cavaliers last January. She served as color commentator for B101.3 FM for the Hart Conference tournament for Peru State men's basketball team. Bellinghausen was a sports marketing intern for the Omaha Sports Commission, a photographer for the 2019 Maha Music Festival, reporter for the 2019 Capital District Pole Vault event, and a reporter for the 2019 College World Series. She also was a staff writer and reporter for USA Curling during the Olympic trials. She is a previous Nebraska Broadcasters Association scholarship recipient and is an Albers Communication and Marcus Family Scholarship recipient. She was named UNO Student Athlete of the Month in March 2019 and made the Summit League Academic Honor Roll for 2018-19. Her parents are Brian and Angie Bellinghausen of Omaha. And, just an aside here, what were y'all doing at about age 22? This is the accomplishments of all of these students is just amazing, and you're going to hear so much more. From Creighton University, Chelsea Nicholson. Chelsea is a double major in journalism, news track, and graphic design, multimedia, and filmmaking track. She is part of the Dean's Fellows program at the university and is a marketing intern in the Creighton College of Arts and Sciences Dean's Office. She also completed her second year as a graphic designer and photographer in the Creative Suite, a student marketing office for the Division of Student Life at Creighton. Over winter break, she participated in a project filming a documentary about conservation in New Zealand. Nicholson was the assistant photograph editor for the Creightonian and also takes photos and prepares marketing materials for the Creighton Athletic Department. She's working on a film with the Kingfisher Institute, focusing on the inner struggles of the South Sudanese community in Omaha. Her parents are Barth and Stephanie Nicholson of Olathe, Kansas. Our next three scholarships are the Paul N. Williams Scholarships. Paul Williams was a dedicated journalist whose 27 years as a newspaperman culminated in a share of the first Pulitzer Prize ever awarded to a weekly newspaper, the Sun Newspapers of Omaha. As with the previous scholarships, the Paul N. Williams Scholarship is presented to one student from each participating university. The scholarships are worth $2,500 each. From Creighton, Emma Gallagher. Emma is majoring in journalism on the public relations and advertising and news tracks with a business administration minor. She is a corporate communications intern at Union Pacific and sports editor for the Creightonian. She previously held a summer internship at the Aberdeen News in her hometown of Aberdeen, South Dakota. Her parents are Patrick and Roberta Gallagher of Aberdeen. From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Luna Stevens. Luna is a native of Lawrence, Kansas, majoring in journalism and advertising and public relations, with minors in sociology and psychology. She is currently a news intern at the Lincoln Journal-Star. Previously, she worked her way up into the leadership of the Daily Nebraskan, first as a news reporter and then as assistant news editor. She's also worked as an intern at the College of Journalism and Mass Communications Nebraska News Service. Stevens has earned a spot on the Dean's List in every semester she has been at UNL and has a 3.9 grade point average. She's also the primary programmer for UNL's ACES, the Society for Editing chapter. Her parents are Melissa Freiberger and Matthew Stevens. And from the University of Nebraska at Omaha, Ulises Orozco, who is not only the winner of the Paul N. Williams Scholarship, but the Mark Gautier Award as well. Ulises is majoring in journalism and media communication with a concentration in creative media. He is a corporate communications intern for Union Pacific Railroad and was First News Weekend video editor for KETV Newswatch 7. He served as a video and social media specialist for Maverick PR and was a 2018 spring semester video intern for Clark Creative Group. Orozco also is a freelancer for Hathaway Publishing and completed the Nebraska Broadcasters Association's sales training program and received an award from the NBA for Best News Story. Orozco also received the Virginia Allen McIntyre Memorial Scholarship in spring 2019 from the School of Communication. Ulises' parents are Pedro and Celia Orozco of Clark, South Dakota. So, as I mentioned, he won not only the Paul N. Williams, but also the Mark Gautier Award, and I want to tell you a little bit about that Ulises also won. This privately endowed Omaha Press Club Foundation Award was established by the colleagues and friends in memory of Mark Gautier and his long and distinguished career as news director at KMTV in Omaha. Gautier was a pioneer in the early years of Omaha broadcast news. This $1,500 cash award is presented to a student at UNO, or Creighton University on successful completion of an internship at an Omaha television or cable news department. Now I'm going to tell you about two more scholarships, beginning with the Floyd Kalber Scholarship. The family, colleagues, and friends of Floyd Kalber endowed this scholarship. Kalber was one of Omaha's first TV news directors at KMTV, former anchor on NBC's The Today Show, and news anchor on WLS-ABC Chicago. The scholarship is awarded based on several interesting criteria. The recipient must be pursuing a program preparing for a career in broadcast news, must be a junior or senior at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, must have served an internship, part-time employment, or co-curricular activity in news broadcasting, must be a high school graduate from Omaha Public Schools, and preference is given to Benson High School, which was Kalber's alma mater, but not exclusively, and the scholarship is $2,500. That's the Floyd Kalber Scholarship. And now, a little bit about the Nebraska Broadcasters Association Scholarship. This is a $2,000 scholarship endowed by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association Foundation beginning in 2017 to assist a student with demonstrated interest in pursuing a career at an FCC-licensed radio or television station. The recipient must be pursuing a program preparing for a career in a licensed, an FCC-licensed broadcast facility, radio or television. Through an internship, must have part-time employment or co-curricular activity that demonstrates an intention of pursuing a career in broadcast at a radio or television station. So why take the time to tell you about both? Because Owen Godberson from the University of Nebraska at Omaha is the winner of both scholarships. Godberson is a journalism and mass communication major. His journalism and communication experience includes, get ready, anchoring for the Maverick Digital Network, anchoring and reporting for the Omaha News, writing for the Gateway, and numerous roles with UNO's MavRadio.fm as play-by-play and color announcer for more than 100 games across 5 different sports, and as a producer. He was a radio commentator for Omaha men's and women's soccer for the 2017 NCAA men's tournament, both teams for the 2018 conference tournament, and the 2019 men's conference tournament. He was also color commentator for the 2017 Summit League Championship. Godberson provides play-by-play for Bug Eaters FC and the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. He is also announced for Bellevue University Volleyball, men's soccer, and women's soccer. He served as a production assistant for UNO Television, including uplinks, they're now called LTNs, but uplinks with the BBC News and Fox News. He was a first warning host on MavRadio.fm and on UNO Television. Godberson is also a digital media writer and manager. He is a Goodrich Scholarship recipient and has won numerous Eric Severide Awards from the Midwest Broadcast Journalists Association. His parents are Joseph and Mary Godberson of Omaha. Almost feel like I need to take a deep breath after all of that. Next is our Stan Bond Scholarship. Stan Bond was KETV's first field engineer, pioneering live broadcasting from remote story locations for the newsroom in which he was a full news gathering participant. Bond was a past president of the Omaha Press Club and trustee of the Omaha Press Club Foundation. He received the Distinguished Club Member Award in 2001. The Stan Bond Scholarship for $2,500 is presented to one deserving student from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with a demonstrated interest in pursuing news dissemination on any platform. Natalie Sands of Scottsbluff, Nebraska is this year's recipient. Natalie is a journalism and broadcasting major with minors in sociology and Spanish. Sands has been a reporter for the Daily Nebraskan, an intern for the Grand Island Independent, a fellow at the Omaha World Herald, data journalism intern at Nebraska News Service, and now an intern at the Lincoln Journal-Star. She's bilingual in Spanish and in English and was selected for an internship at Telemundo, Nebraska in Omaha before the coronavirus pandemic postponed that particular opportunity. Sands has an Associate of Arts degree from Western Nebraska Community College, where she was elected to the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. At UNL, she was elected chapter secretary and alumni chair of the campus chapter of Lambda Theta Nu sorority. She has tutored domestic and international students at UNL's Writing Center, and her parents are Maria and Eloy Sands. Next, we award the Robert McMorris Scholarship. Friends and family of Robert McMorris established this $2,500 scholarship. McMorris's career with the Omaha World Herald spanned 46 years, 7,500 columns, and 1,500 sun-up interviews. He was a driving force in the development of the OPC restaurant in the First National Bank building, where we should be sitting right now, except for this. This scholarship goes to a deserving student at Creighton University, as determined by faculty in Creighton's Department of Journalism, and must be pursuing a program preparing him or herself for a career in print journalism. And the recipient of the Robert McMorris Scholarship is Caitlin Smith. Caitlin is double majoring in journalism and political science with a minor in French and Francophone studies. She's a member of Creighton Honors Scholars Program and a member of Phi Beta Kappa Academic Honor Society. She is also a part-time copy editor at the Omaha World Herald. Smith is the editor-in-chief for the Creightonian in fall 2020 and a research assistant to Dr. Peggy Ruprecht. Previously, she served as a CNN political unit intern in Washington, D.C. during fall of 2019. She was also contributing writer and editorial intern at Omaha Magazine. She's the daughter of Christy Smith of Omaha. And we keep going on. Jim Denny Good News Scholarship was created by the family of James Denny to memorialize this veteran reporter who spent 38 years with the Omaha World-Herald. Readers knew Denny best for his feature writing, much of it focused on Cornhusker football and state history. His writing about the latter area netted him the Nebraska Historical Society's Addison E. Sheldon Award in 1983. The scholarship is given to a student at Creighton, UNO, or UNL based on a rotating basis. In the spirit of Denny's propensity for writing feel-good stories, the family has asked that the honoree be a student who has demonstrated outstanding work as a feature writer. The award is $2,500. And the winner this year is from Creighton University, Marissa Gallardi. Marissa is majoring in journalism and minoring in women's and gender studies and theater at Creighton University and is a member of Creighton's honors program. Gallardi is the communications coordinator for Nebraska Family Planning, opinion and social media editor for the Creightonian, member of the Alpha Sigma Nu, and a mentor for incoming freshmen. Previously, she was the events intern at Omaha Summer Arts Festival, scene editor for the Creightonian, and social media intern at VIP Center, a sexual assault prevention center. She is a Grace Keenan Scholar for theater at Creighton University and was selected as Irene Ryan Scholarship nominee. She was planning to study abroad in India, doing social outreach for women's causes before the pandemic shut down her international travel. Her parents are Greg and Marcia Gallardi of Nebraska City. This year, the Omaha Press Club is awarding 2 Howard Silber scholarships. Howard Silber's widow, Sissy Silber, established this scholarship. In his 30 years reporting for the Omaha World-Herald, Silber became known for his reporting, his sports writing, and his reporting on military affairs. He became an authority on the Cold War and was one of the first reporters to break the news about the U.S. Air Force's latest weapon, the B-2 stealth bomber. This scholarship is awarded to students from Creighton, UNO, and UNL who have demonstrated skills as a hard news writer. In rotation with the Denny Scholarship, Silber scholarships in any given year are awarded to students at the 2 campuses not receiving the Denny Scholarship. The scholarships are worth $2,500. So, from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Sierra Karst. Sierra is a student at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln majoring in journalism with a minor in human rights. Karst has interned at the Omaha World-Herald, covering breaking news and features. She was a student marketing worker for NET's Vision Maker Media, has hosted a radio show on 90.3 KRNU, and produced video content for several organizations as well. In addition, she is a licensed drone pilot and skilled computer programmer, enabling her to be a versatile new generation journalist, truly. Karst previously received a Regents Scholarship, Honors Program Scholarship, and Anderson Scholarship. Her parents are Gregory Karst and Melanie Karst. And from the University of Nebraska at Omaha, Ethan Wolbach. Ethan is a journalism and media communication major with a secondary field in business. Wolbach has covered UNO athletic games and events and the College World Series for mavradio.fm. He has served as play-by-play and color commentator for UNO volleyball and baseball, and was a sports analyst and host for Mav Radio's First Warning Sports Show. Wolbach is talent and floor director for the Omaha News and is a sports reporter for the Omaha Beef football team. He was named Outstanding Journalism and Media Communications Student for the 2019-2020 school year and has been on the Dean's List and Chancellor's List. His parents are Jim and Mary Jo Wolbach of Papillion. For the second year, the Omaha Press Club Foundation is pleased to award the Judy Horan Scholarship. Judy Horan was a freelance writer, public relations, and marketing professional who during her lifetime made tremendous contributions to the Omaha Press Club, and we miss her dearly. She has twice served on the board of directors of the Omaha Press Club, and nearly 20 years volunteered her time and talents to put out the Press Club's monthly newsletter. Earlier in her career, Horan had also worked as the promotion and marketing director for WOWT television. Upon her death in 2017 at age 74, her friends and her husband Jim, the longtime artist for the Press Club's Face on the Barroom Floor events, raised money to create this scholarship that goes to a promising student of public relations or marketing. The $2,500 scholarship is rotated among the campuses of Creighton, UNO, and UNL starting in 2019. Brooke Memoli is the recipient of the Judy Horan Scholarship. Brooke is majoring in journalism at Creighton University with a minor in Spanish. Memoli was accepted into Valmont's copywriting internship program for summer 2020. She is president of Creighton's Public Relations Student Society of America chapter. She previously received the Dr. Eileen Worth Scholarship, awarded by the Computer Science, Design, and Journalism Department at Creighton. She is the daughter of Leslie Memoli of Lee's Summit, Missouri. And now the Omaha Press Club is thrilled to present the inaugural Susan Eustace Scholarship. Susan Eustace was an award-winning public relations and marketing professional who served the Omaha nonprofit community for decades. She was best known as the longtime communications director for the Salvation Army's Western Division in Omaha. Susan was also a great friend of the Omaha Press Club, co-chairing its publications committee for 17 years and serving as club president in 2012. Upon her death in 2019 at age 65, friends and supporters raised money to create this scholarship that goes to a promising student majoring in public relations or marketing. The $2,500 scholarship is rotated among the campuses. And the winner of the inaugural award is Nicole Payne of Elgin, Nebraska. Payne is a double major in advertising and public relations and sports media communication at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. She's minoring in hospitality, restaurant, and tourism management. Payne has held social media internships for the Leeds Center for the Performing Arts and Perry Reed Properties, Perry Reed Construction. She also held an advertising and news internship at the Albion News, all while maintaining a 3.9 grade point average. She was selected to serve on the Nebraska Student Alumni Association Board of Directors, where she helped plan and execute the university's 150th anniversary homecoming extravaganza. Her parents are Ray and Peggy Payne. And the final scholarship we're awarding is the Senator Edward Zorinsky Memorial Scholarship for graduate study in journalism and communication. The family of Senator Edward Zorinsky established this scholarship in memory of the late U.S. Senator and former mayor of Omaha. The Omaha Press Club Foundation awards the scholarship to a graduate student from UNO or UNL. The scholarship is given based on available funds and at the discretion of the Omaha Press Club Foundation. London Homer Wambeam from Laramie, Wyoming is the recipient of the Zorinsky Scholarship. He is a graduate student in the School of Communication at UNO. After graduating from the University of Wyoming, Homer Wambeam spent a year working as a reporter for the Wyoming Public Radio News Department. During this time, he also worked for the American Heritage Center, researching and writing their daily history show on WPR, and he also produced a video episode for WPR's Human Nature podcast. Homer Wambeam received the Hathaway Scholarship, a full-ride scholarship to the University of Wyoming in 2014. He has also been awarded scholarships for his photography and to study abroad in Hong Kong and Xi'an, China. Homer Wambeam graduated from UW cum laude in the honors program and was on the President's Honor Roll for 4 semesters and the Dean's Honor Roll for 8 semesters. In 2018, his film, The Surrogate, won first place and Best Director at the 7220 UW Student Film Festival. His parents are Laurie Homer and Rodney Wambeam of Laramie. The John Savage Visual Communication Awards are presented to each campus, not to a student, but to each campus, to fund an activity or project focused on improving the photo and video production skills of the students. It's endowed by the family, colleagues, and friends of John Savage, who was a pioneer World Herald photojournalist and a founder of the Omaha Press Club. The awards will be used by each campus to subsidize a student photo or video project that benefits students. I think it's worth $1,000. This event is truly dedicated to the students. And for that reason, we have asked one student from each campus to say a few words this evening on behalf of all of their school's honorees. Here are Marissa Gillardi from Creighton University, Elizabeth Seline from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and Anna Bellinghausen from the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Dear Omaha Press Club Foundation, my name is Marissa Gillardi, and I am a senior at Creighton University studying journalism and winner of the Jim Denny Good News Scholarship. On behalf of all of the scholarship winners from Creighton University, I want to thank the Omaha Press Club Foundation for your generous support. Because of these scholarships, we have been able to dedicate more time to learning, and you have lightened our financial burdens. Many of us juggle jobs, internships, our classes, and serve as leaders in campus organizations. So thank you for your investment in us and in our educations. Through these scholarships, you have allowed us to focus more on learning and think about our future career as media and communications professionals. Thank you for making this possible.
Hello, Omaha Press Club. My name is Libby Seline, and I'm a senior journalism major at UNL and a recipient of the Davis Scholarship. On behalf of my peers, Sierra, Will, Luna, Natalie, and Nicole, I would like to thank you all for awarding us with scholarships and acknowledging our work as journalists. Since the time we received our scholarships, we've all been pretty busy. There's a pandemic going on. I know several of us have had internships at local publications like the Omaha World Herald and the Lincoln Journal-Star. We've also written for Western Nebraska publications through the college's newswire, Nebraska News Service. Of course, we've known for a while that journalism is essential to every community, but that really came to light during a pandemic. During this time, people need to stay informed about their communities and understand how the coronavirus has impacted their home. They need to learn how schools are keeping students safe, be educated on each new directed health measure, and hear stories of the coronavirus's spread through nursing homes, meatpacking plants, and communities in general. Journalists have also been covering protests in the Black Lives Matter movement. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if journalists weren't able to cover these events. What stories wouldn't we know? What questions wouldn't be raised about people or the government's actions? What change wouldn't be made? The information we provide and the stories we tell broaden readers' horizons and bring problems and solutions to light. Journalists keep the community informed on all news, good or bad, and I believe I speak on behalf of every award recipient when I say it's such a privilege to do such. My love for journalism began when I was in high school. During my first interview, I made my teacher cry as she was opening up to me about her life. I was horrified. Oh my gosh, what do I do? How do I handle this? How do I comfort her? But once the panic died down, I was ecstatic. I loved it when she opened up to me and trusted me with her story. And I knew I wanted to do that for the rest of my life. Soon I became addicted to the rush reporters experience while covering breaking news. I love using data to learn more about communities. Being a journalist has made my life richer, that's for certain. That said, being a journalist isn't easy. The job market is tough. Social media harassment is very real and very damaging. We're accused of being fake news far too often. But through each trial and tribulation, I look to my support system, and that includes you. I remember people who believe in my ability to tell stories and inform the public and the general value of my work. And now, with several experiences under my belt, I feel somewhat ready to enter the post-college world. During a pandemic, that is. How ready can you really be? That said, I have you to thank for that. I'm an Omaha native, and I've grown up in a community where journalism was valued by the public. Thanks to guidance from professors in my college and your generosity, I've been able to pursue additional opportunities and find a branch of journalism that I really enjoy. My fellow award recipients and I are young and we have a lot to learn. We are incredibly thankful for your encouragement as we grow as journalists and prepare to enter the job market. It's a very weird time to be in college, start a job, or just be a human being. But thankfully, we have your support to help us move forward. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Anna Bellinghausen, one of UNO's recipients for the Omaha Press Club Scholarship. I would like to start off by thanking the OPC Foundation for their scholarship opportunities for students like me. I would also like to show my appreciation for UNO's School of Communication and the amazing academic and professional opportunities they offer students. For me, being in the School of Communication here at UNO has brought endless opportunities. I've covered some of the best athletes in the world, from Olympic pole vaulters to Olympic curlers, NBA players, and our very own UNO student athletes. I was even able to start my own Women in Media Club here on campus, where we aim to create a sisterhood of women in the media. The opportunities here are endless, and receiving the scholarship brings me so much appreciation towards what we continue to build at UNO, and that's great journalists and even better people. I cannot wait to see what my future holds for myself and my colleagues. I know UNO will be there to support me until I graduate and far beyond my time as a Maverick. The university and community support is what keeps us going as students. I want to sincerely thank the OPC Foundation and the School of Communication for being a part of my journey.
Thank you, Marissa, Elizabeth, and Anna. Nearly 2 decades ago, the foundation decided that in addition to recognizing aspiring journalists, it would be appropriate to honor someone who has blazed the trail for these young professionals. And so the Career Achievement Award was established. Tonight, we'll hear from one of our recent professional honorees, an exceptional journalist. During a 5-decade career, Steve Jordan served as the anchor of the Omaha World Herald's business desk. He is perhaps best known for his coverage of the rise of Warren Buffett, as the Omaha native became one of the world's most renowned investors. In addition to a weekly Buffett column, he wrote a book about the Oracle of Omaha. Here's Steve.
Thanks, Chris. This is Steve Jordan. I'm up at the Omaha Press Club, and I've enjoyed learning about our awardees and listening to some of them. Our annual scholarship recognition event is an inspiration for me because of our awardees represent the future of journalism, and I'm a Nebraska journalism graduate too. Once upon a time, we had newspapers and magazines. We had radio news segments in between entertainment. We had 4 hours a day of TV news and 3 networks. Most cities had 1 newspaper, and a few lucky cities had 2. Educated people at the time read the paper, listened to the radio, and watched TV. As a result, our society had a shared body of knowledge about current events and history, based largely on what reporters and editors found out and communicated to their audiences. You could start an interesting conversation by saying, "Say, did you see what the paper said today?" In a sense, my job was easy. I talked to people, I read things, I watched things, and then I wrote about what I had learned. 3/4 of the people in our area had a chance to read what I wrote. But these days, the audience is fragmented. People have much less shared knowledge about the way things really are. Many of the sources of their information are peddling propaganda, not facts. Fairness is ignored, and facts are squishy. And it all happens so fast that events fade from people's memories when they swipe to the next screen. The people who founded this American experiment believed that journalism was vital to Republican democracy, on a par with freedom of religion and speech and assembly. I'm not sure the American majority believes in press freedom anymore. The once clear boundaries of journalism versus other forms of communication are blurred. So that leaves the students with us today, and thousands of other students and recent graduates with formal journalism and training, with a challenge to give the American people the knowledge they need to make the right decisions. To the students, you will need every ounce of energy you have, every bit of determination and grit, every shred of idealism and candor you can muster. You'll have to master technology and turn it to good, not evil. You'll see the bad guys win sometimes. You may even lose a job or two along the way. But if you pull it off, you will help save this country from disaster, and that has worldwide importance. I have two close friends who came to the United States from countries that were under authoritarian rulers in the recent past, and one of those countries is still controlled by a de facto dictator. My two friends have chosen to become American citizens, largely because of the opportunities for them and their children that are guaranteed by this country's freedom. I got a chance to visit one of their countries and tour the local newspaper in a small town. How much money does your newspaper give me? How much money does your newspaper receive from the government? An editor asked me. Nothing, I said. And I asked, where does your revenue come from? The editor said about 1/3 from circulation, 1/3 from advertising, and 1/3 from government. I said, well, then how do you report on the government? And the editor said, very carefully. So I would ask the students here today to be careful too, but not because of the fear of that editor's, of a government crackdown on that editor. Instead, you must be careful to exercise the standards of journalism so that you protect the freedom that all of us enjoy. I retired 2 years ago, leaving behind a group of World Herald journalists, editors, and reporters who are just as dedicated to the principles of democracy and freedom as I am. And today, through the Omaha Press Club Foundation scholarships, we are passing along that challenge to the next generation of eyes and ears of the world. To our scholarship winners, I believe that the future of our country and the freedom of the world depends on how you handle this challenge. I wish you all the best, and please know that just as I am trusting you to meet the challenges that lie ahead, future generations will be counting on you. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve, and congratulations. As a final word to our student honorees, I ask you all to remember there's a reason you've received these awards. I hope this gives you just a little more encouragement as you go down that road to your future success. It's you, the next generation, who must uphold the standards of journalism and mass communication, and who must shine the light in the darkest corners to show us the stories we need to see. No matter what anyone may say, you are the front line of democracy. Hold yourselves to the highest ethics and demand the same of your colleagues. It's popular today to say that we need good journalism now more than ever. But that's not true. We've always needed good journalism. There has never been a time in our history when we did not need good journalism. We as journalists and communicators are under attack, verbally and quite literally physically. Don't shy away from the tasks that need to be done. Don't let yourselves be undermined. Your awards tonight are a small demonstration that we're behind you. Use your skills and never hesitate to tell the truth. All of us at the Omaha Press Club and the Foundation wish you all the best. Congratulations to all of our scholarship winners, and thank you for watching our special 2020 scholarship recognition video. Stay safe, everyone.